everyone, and welcome to another day of casting Alchemy League Season 7. So, today we have two sets. Let's go straight into the drafts. The first one is going to be Sabalero against YoSoyPacho. So, Sabalero, he has been with the league for a while now. I know he has played in the Alaskan season. I do not remember about the others, but he's been with us for a while now. And as you can see, he is a player from Argentina who is currently 1780, but he has a highest of 1926. So quite the solid player here. And his opponent is going to be YoSoyPacho. Yeah, sorry if neither of these players has the in-game nickname corresponding to how I'm going to be calling them, but yeah, I'm going to be using the names they use on Discord. And I mean, Sabalero, this is actually another account. This is not him. I mean, yeah, it's him, but it's not the same account as he used in the previous seasons. I think he had a name with Chinese characters in previous seasons. But yeah, I mean, it's him, so do not worry about that. And YoSoyPacho, back to him, he is slightly lower Elo-wise, with a current Elo rating of 1634, although he hasn't played 1v1 in a while, it seems, so maybe he was a little bit higher, but Elo decay is a thing, so that happens. He does have a highest rating of 1750, and in a certain way he's kind of like Metalmania, which we covered in other sets, in the sense that he tends to be able to take games from people who are higher than him Elo-wise, so he's someone to be, you have to be careful when facing him. And nothing, he is from Colombia. So we're going to have a South American set over here. Hello, Tech. Welcome. So, those are the players. Let's jump into the draft. Now, the map for game 1 is going to be Paradise Island. That's the map for the 5th round, or the 2nd round of Sprint 2, if you will. And then after the 3 bans that each player gets, they were left with graveyards. So game 2 is going to be on that one. As for civs, we got the usual 5 random bans: Poles, Burmese, Slavs, Bohemians, and Britons. Okay. I don't think I've seen any of these civs yet. No. What am I talking about? I know I saw Bohemians somewhere on mods. I don't remember who played them. Britons, I feel like I've seen them. I cannot recall where, though. Maybe they were picked but not played, but I think I've seen them. Anyway. As for bans, we have Japanese and Celts from Sabalero. And then we have Mongols and a random Vietnamese from YoSoyPacho. So, solid bans. Celts, I'm a little surprised to see. They can be tricky depending on who's playing them, but I don't think I've ever seen YoSoyPacho play them, so yeah, that's interesting. Maybe Sabalero knows something that I don't. So, Sabalero picked Persians, Georgians, and Dravidians, got the Romans sniped, and YoSoyPacho, he was left with Magyars, Malay, and Bengalis, and got the Italians sniped. So, Sabalero's snipe makes sense to me, right? I would have probably gone for Malay, but Italians make sense. You could go for either civ. But Romans, when there's Persians and Georgians, kind of surprises me. Especially when there's going to be graveyards, because I think both Persians and Georgians are top tier on that map. And Dravidians are probably going to be for Paradise Island. Also, no Lithuanians, now that I think about it, despite Paradise Island being in the set. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, Malay are very scary. I mean, Italians can be scary as well with the uptimes, but they do not hit uptimes the way that Malay do. And in some ways, the Italian tech tree is probably... I was about to say it's more limited. It actually isn't, because Italians can actually play cavalry. They have hussar. But when it comes to cavalry, I'd rather... I mean, with cavalry, Malay at least get a power unit, right? They have the elite elephant. Italians, they can get into cavalier and hussar, which are fully upgraded, don't get me wrong, but they do not really have that kind of power unit that Malay can get to. Although you normally see fast uptime with arbalesters from Malay. But yeah, both saves would have made sense to be banned. Alright, so enough yapping from me. Let me change scene. This time I must not forget. And just get into game 1. So, here we are. Paradise Island. Okay, we have Dravidians from Sabalero and Bengalis from YoSoyPacho. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So, Dravidians, it's a no-brainer, right? You can get amazing timings. Well, not timings, but you can get amazing builds thanks to the extra wood that you get once you get up to the next stage. Your dogs will support population, which is going to be nice. And yeah, and all of that. You also get cheaper barracks upgrades. So if you actually want to go for a hybrid build, which many people tend to do on maps like this, it's easier, especially if you want to go into man-at-arms. So yeah, very solid pick here. Now Bengalis, on the other hand, don't get me wrong, I love Bengalis, and they're actually pretty good on water thanks to the ships regenerating, right? The thing is, this is not a purely water map, right? It's a hybrid map and you're quite close to your opponent. Bengalis, when it comes to land units, they actually have access to very strong units, like the Ratha is amazing, the Elephant Archer is amazing, and the Battle Elephant is amazing. The issue is, they're quite expensive units, right? So getting to those, it's not going to be easy. And aside from those, you don't really have that great options, right? Sure, you have Arbalester, but you're missing Thumbring in the long run. You have Light Cav, that's it. You do not have the Knife Line. Your infantry is missing the last armor upgrade. So you do not have a siege engineer. Oh no, you do have siege engineers, okay, but you're missing bomber cannon. You do not get siege onager. So yeah. And again, you're quite close, and it's not really easy to wall up this map. And to top it off, getting to stone, you have to go quite far away from your TC, so you cannot even go something like, oh, I'm going to dock, wall up, fight for water, and eventually I'll go to castle with Rathas behind. Right, so yeah, this is an interesting pick. I'm curious to see what YoSoyPacho will show us. Now, aside from that... Oh, never mind. So, I was about to say, we got the new crocodiles since the new patch, and they should have the charge attack. Here they don't, because this set was played on the previous patch. So, ooh, YoSoyPacho loses a Veil there to the crocodile, okay. Because he was getting hit from uphill. So, on the new patch, these crocodiles actually get a charge attack when they hit the Veils. Or rather, when they hit something. So the first attack is going to be dealing 3... I forget whether it is +4 or +5. And yeah, it has something like 30 seconds charge time. So Allumed Veil should still be able to kill a crocodile. But an Unloomed Veil will not be able to do that. Oh, wait, YoSoyPacho did not have Loom. Okay, that makes more sense. Even. Okay, in Sabalero, he's not going for the water. So he's just going to go for standard Arabia play, or standard open map play, if you will. Yeah, attack, that's what I'm sad about, because this is actually the first time I see a Crocodile Generation on this map. And I was hoping to see the charge attack, but yeah. Previous patch, so that's not going to happen. And here we are. So Dravidians, as I mentioned, they can easily do a Man-at-Arm build. Okay. Sabalero, he is housed. He's going to notice that. He's going to build a house. He actually stole a goat from YoSoyPacho. Okay. So 2 militia. It might be 3. Does YoSoyPacho... Ooh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, YoSoyPacho misses that barracks by 1 tile. And I don't know, maybe if he sent the transport here, he might be able to see that. But yeah, he won't. And Sabalero will know about this. So if he wants to use the transport to get the militia over here, yeah, he's going to go in the dark. Let's see where he ejects. Oh, he's actually going forward with the Vil. Okay, here comes the militia. Yeah, he's going to load the militia in the dark. It's actually 4 militia. Well, it makes sense, right? Because Man-at-Arms is 100 food and 40 gold. But the Dravidians pay that half. So they pay it 50 wood, food, and 20 gold. So basically, they can afford 1 more militia compared to other civs. Okay, YoSoyPacho should see this. Oh yeah, he will know about the militia. He will know about the Vil. And it's going to be a 4 archer range. Okay, this is interesting because last time I casted this map, it was Marklanders against Plotterghost, yes? And Marklanders did not use the transport, it did not make the militia, but he did go for a 4 range. Actually, does YoSoyPacho... Okay, YoSoyPacho does not know that Sabalero is not on fish. Double archer range from YoSoyPacho. Let's see. I'm curious to see whether he'll make a fire, but I think he's kind of forgotten about the water for the time being, and he would maybe make a fire if he saw some ships from Sabalero. Yeah. This villager trying to go for a tower. Scout got hit before, so... Yeah, now Sabalero is going to know about the skirmisher. Honestly, if you're... Oh, that's... Okay, yeah, that's Sabalero's spear. Honestly, if you're Dravidians and you see your opponent is going skirmishers, you don't really mind, right? Because your skirms are just better. Whereas, yeah, they attack faster. And if your opponent is opening skirms and you have Man-at-Arms on the field, that's going to be a Vil down. Nice blocking from Sabalero. Might get a 3rd Vil. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, the house was in the way. Yeah, he doesn't go for the kill. He would have gotten it. Just 1 hit and that Vil would have died. Okay, Sabalero has flashing in. YoSoyPacho does not. And that's because YoSoyPacho was not on gold. He just went there, but now Sabalero could just camp that gold with the Man-at-Arm. Do not lose them to the TC. Okay, that's fine. But honestly, Sabalero here, if he wanted to, with that amount of wood, he could even drop a stable at home and make a couple of scouts to take care of the skirmishers. Okay, we have blacksmith from YoSoyPacho. Ooh, militia might get in. Another will go down. Yes. Honestly, yeah, he's left with a single man-at-arm, but he killed... Yeah, he killed 3 villagers with those man-at-arms, so they I would say they paid off pretty well. And he still has this 4 will. A third range, okay. A third range from Sabalero. Okay, he's going all in. Dropping a market at home. He's got a lot of gold. Which makes sense because he went to gold thinking to go to make archers. Thinking about making archers. But then YoSoyPacho, he opened skirms. Ooh, yeah. Skirms, there's no fletching in yet for YoSoyPacho. So he had a lot of gold floating because he ended up not making the archers. Yeah, he's going to be using that to balance his eco. And now skirms numbers is actually ahead, Sabalero. And again, these skirms are better, and these are weak from before. Very nice aggression here for Sabalero. His eco behind is not the best because he's focusing so much on the fights, and he does not have fish. So YoSoyPacho for the time being is ahead in res collected. And you can see that with the Villat Mount, right, as well. Yes, Sabalero killed 3 vills, but YoSoyPacho is ahead by 7 and 4 fishing ships. Yeah, almost 6 minutes of idle TC time from Sabalero. So he needs to be careful not to be, I would say, too all in the situation. I mean, this would eventually pay off, right? Because he's denying so many resources from his opponent. He's denying the gold and some of the wood. But behind this, YoSoyPacho, he is farming. And he still has the fish. He even redocked to make it more efficient. Yeah, and Sabalero he just has no ecotome. 2 farms. 3 bills on berries. I think he's going maybe a little bit too crazy with this. Honestly, a very aggressive play would be coming forward with some vills and maybe dropping a tower on the farms, just to make sure that your opponent does not get that kind of eco. And I mean, honestly, now you know how much of an advantage you have with skirms. Yeah, now you make archers, so that you're going to be having more food floating. Yeah, Taka, I'm loving this as well. To be fair, Byzantine Trash Rush is one of my favorite plays. And I think the only other 2 civs which can pull something similar off is, well, Koreans, because of the discount on wood that they have on units. And the other one would be Dravidians, right? Because they have crazy good skirmishers. They get that 200 extra wood from aging up. So, yeah, I love this. Okay, still 10 vills ahead for YoSoyPacho, but he will eventually lose all of the skirmishers. But Sabalero, he clicks up. Now, the sad thing is that he gets no knight. Oh, well, YoSoyPacho just goes this easy. Okay, never mind. So I was about to say the sad thing is that he gets no knight, so the moment he gets to castle, he doesn't really have a power unit to make damage with. He doesn't have a crossbow mass. He would have to come forward and drop a siege workshop to make some mangonels, which would be nice because they're discounted. But yeah, YoSoyPacho, he knows he's completely locked into this area just because of the TC. He knows this woodline can still be ranged. He's very far away from Castle Age. Sorry, actually he's just missing the gold. But yeah, very aggressive play from Sabalero. Yes, denying the gold was huge, especially on this map where each player gets only two spots to mine gold. So yeah, and honestly, this is the second time I see someone, I wouldn't say completely, but I mean, in this case, Sabalero completely ignored the water, right? Marklanders, I think he made a single fish shape, and that was it. But yeah, I'm liking this approach from people to just go for full land aggression. And honestly, considering how close you are to your opponent, that can work very well, right? So yeah, actually, Marklanders, he was Dravidians as well. So maybe there could also be some kind of mind game there where you pick Dravidians, so your opponent is going to be thinking, oh, he's 100% making some water, right? Because he's Dravidians. But then you just do not make it. Yeah, look at that. YoSoyPacho was actually ahead in rest collected, but yeah, there was this difference in army. Okay, so let me load up game 2 real quick, which is going to be on graveyards. Okay, here we are. Am I going crazy? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was going crazy because I could hear some fire and it was down here. Yeah, apparently we get a burning generation with a permanent fire going on. Anyway. Alright, so game 2. Sabalero, he's playing with the Persians in the pink. And YoSoyPacho here in the grey going for the Malay. I like the Malay pick. I really like it. So graveyards, of course, there's this middle pond with some fish. You actually have, what? A little bit above 1k food from the zip fish. Okay, so about 3k food total in this pond, which is nothing to scoff at. And then you're going to have about 1400 worth of gold with the oysters. So taking control of this, it's quite nice. Not only for the resources, but also to get some vision, right? If you have some ships here patrolling, you might see some armies coming to you, to your base. So, which civ do I prefer? I think Persians are just, the best civ here. Because they are the best civ when it comes to hybrid maps in general. But again, I mentioned in the draft how Malay can be very scary if they hit the right timings. So we'll see. We'll see how YoSoyPacho plays them. So 4 on wood, 5 already 5 on wood for YoSoyPacho, who opts to go for only 5 vills on the food. Oh, you play against... oh. Yeah, last time I played against Persians and they went war elephants. I was actually Malay as well. It was on Fortress a couple of months ago. And yeah, they went for war elephants. I went for battle elephants. And I mean, I could just outmass them, right? I hope we see something similar here, actually. Because that would be hilarious. Okay, so dogs coming up. A little bit late for Sabalero, which is not what you would expect from the Persians. You expect them to be out faster, having that extra 50 food and wood at the start, and starting working a faster working TC. But at the end of the day, their docks work faster as well, so he's not going to be too far behind when it comes to fishing ships numbers. He's going to catch up. Oh yeah. Yeah, you love monks, so actually going war elephants against you is not the brightest idea. I actually had a TG tournament yesterday, and one of my teammates, he went Bohemian Monks, and at one point I looked over at his opponent's base, and his opponent had something like 20 pikes. I look away to drop a couple of arms, and I look back, and suddenly those pikes they just changed color, and they became my teammate's pikes. It was hilarious. By the end of the game, I think he had probably more conversions than vills. Yeah, the issue with tweaking the war elephants is that, sure, maybe you make them more accessible, but then if you want to do that, you kind of have to make them... Ooh, wait. I like this. I like this from Sabalero. Of course, he's idling 2 vills and the scout, but he's preventing his opponent from dropping a second dock. Actually, he's not dropping a second dock himself, so maybe 1 vill and the scout was enough. Unless he wants to drop a dock over here with a walled-in vill. We'll see. He's going to be up pretty much at the same time. Of course, both players can advance to the next stage faster, but I mean, Malay just advanced faster than the Persians. But yeah, back to my point. I think if they tweak war elephants and they make them more accessible, yes, you're going to be seeing more of them, but at the same time, they kind of lose the charm they have at the moment, right? Where you can see them on specific maps like Michi. You can see war elephants. You can see massed war elephants because of how easy it is to boom on that map. Or sometimes you can see them on Arena or even Black Forest. So yeah, as much as I would like to see more of them, I also would like it in such a way that they do not lose the charm they have at the moment. Oh, a conversion resistance if you have units around you. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of all the aura effects we're having in the game. So I don't know. I think that would be, I mean, with the current state of the game, yes, that could be a nice idea. I just do not like aura effects in general. And here... Okay, so back to the game. YoSoyPacho, he's winning the water. That's because Sabalero was later to the second dock. Okay, so Sabalero, he's going to be losing the water. Okay, already ending the barracks. So he's going to switch into land military. YoSoyPacho, far away from doing that, but he has a lot of wood in the bank. Yeah, he's going to go for a mill. I wouldn't be surprised if Horse Collar came in after the mill. And then we see him drop like something like 10 farms around the TC. Okay, so it's going to be archers from the Persian player. No horse collar for YoSoyPacho. second lumber camp. These wood lines are actually smaller than you would expect. So you can cut through them quite quickly. Actually, he had a lot of people on wood, so that makes sense. But yeah, look at this. YoSoyPacho going very heavily into water. There are 2 demos coming out from Sabalero. I don't think they're going to be enough. Even if he hits perfectly, then maybe he takes down, what, 2, maybe 3 fires. Yeah, he's going to take down those 2 fires. But that's it. He's still going to have a disadvantage when it comes to numbers. He needs to be careful and... Ooh, that was a nice stacking behind the dock to use it as a shield. But yeah, YoSoyPacho, yeah, he's going to lure him to the outside. I think Sabalero is not looking at this. Yeah. And so Sabalero will lose those ships. That said, we have an archer. We have a blacksmith before a market. Sorry, before any military building from YoSoyPacho. Unless I'm missing them and he went forward. No. He does not have any military building. So his eco is going to be superior. Because it's going to have the fish. I think, yeah, now that you're 100% sure you want water, you can just add fishing ships behind this to make use of that water advantage. I think, yeah, you get to 5 fishing ships and then you stop making them. Because, sure, this is going to be nice as extra resources, but you do not want to overdo it, right? Because eventually you do not want to be fish booming here with the fish traps, because it's too exposed. Although with Malay you could get harbors. No, harbors. They kinda suck. Which is a shame, because I love that tech. But the building is just bad. Okay, archers coming forward. There was a spear going forward to scout what the opponent was doing. Denies some walls, but this kind of tells YoSoyPacho that stuff is coming. Look at that spear blocking 2 pieces of wall. Sabalero, is he going to take it down? Yes! Archers regrouping, because again, this was played on the previous patch, but yeah. YoSoyPacho walling that back up. Oh, and there was no fletching from Sabalero. YoSoyPacho kind of panicking here, dropping a second blacksmith. Okay, an archer range in the barracks. Okay, perfect. We have a market, and yeah, he's going to be able to click up. Yeah, there we go. He's going to be up to castle quite fast. And honestly, it's a shame he dropped that second blacksmith. Because if he hadn't, he could have added a stable here, a couple of knights. Even if you're missing bloodlines, you don't really care. A couple of knights can kill all of this. Oh, but look at that, Sabalero is up as well. And neither player abused the rather, well, they used the market a bit. Actually, mostly Sabalero used the market, but he didn't sell the stone. So the booming potential is still there. Which is nice, especially with Persians. Yeah, Sabalero completely cleaned the water. He's just going to patrol there to make sure his opponent does not redock. Now these archers... yeah, he can win the fight before Botkin comes in. Okay. And let's see, he's not making more archers, so he wants to switch. I believe, but we see... okay, yeah, now we see 2 stables. A house there too. There's still a hole behind. But that's fine. Okay, second TC from YoSoyPacho. 2 ranges. No crossbow coming in yet, but because he's missing the gold, but honestly he was faster, so doesn't really need it at the moment to take the fight. Armor and bloodlines coming in from for the knights, double stable production. These are Persian knights, so they're going to be dealing extra bonus damage. Well, actually, they're going to be dealing bonus damage to the archers. Second TC from Sabalero. He did sell this stone, I believe. Yeah, because he's missing 100. But I mean, it's fine. The moment these villagers are done with these trees, you could put a mining camp here, or maybe you drop it here, and eventually you get to that 30C. And to be fair, with Persians, you can kind of delay that 30C, right? Especially if you're going double stable. These two TCs, they're working 15% faster each at this point. So it's not quite like having 3 TCs, but it's way better than having just 2 TCs. Okay, Sabalero coming home with the archers. What does he know about his opponent's base? Okay, so he knows about one range, doesn't know about the second. And he doesn't know about the TC. He knows about the 2 blacksmiths. Oh, and he knows about the university. So, ballistics is not in yet for YoSoyPacho, but Sabalero is going to be expecting it. Is either player going for relics? 30C here. Okay, we do have monks from YoSoyPacho. Yeah, he should see that relic close to his TC. Yeah. And then he should have access to this one as well. And for the time being, both players are just being a little bit defensive. Speaking of defensive, okay, yeah. Yeah. I was thinking, YoSoyPacho has a lot of vision because he could spot those archers over there. And, well, he's Malay, so to begin with, he's going to have more line of sight on dogs, but that's a lot. So, yeah, he got downwards as well. Honestly, if he dropped a dog here, he could probably see up until this house, I think. Which, again, back to my point, back to what I said at the start, having this pawn, especially with Malay, now that I think about it, is going to give you a great vision on the map. So, Sabalero trying to find a way in, but there is none. Yeah, there's no hole over there. I don't think there's a hole between the barracks and the palisade. The only hole we have is over here, but he's not going to be able to get through without getting shot by the archers, and even if he gets through, then he gets hit by the TC. Notice how YoSoyPacho built the farms on this side of the TC, avoiding this one. And he's on stone, so I wouldn't be too surprised if, let's say Sabalero comes here to pressure, and YoSoyPacho drops a castle here. He left that area open. That's smart. Especially when you have TCs in the back, right? So you can just farm around those. Oh, 1 conversion. 2 conversions from YoSoyPacho, who then jumps into the TC. Sabalero coming forward. This is going to be a siege workshop. Another knight is going to get converted here. Does he have devotion? Yeah, there was another conversion over here, I believe. No, I don't think he got devotion. Yeah, he didn't. Oh, this knight got converted in the end, okay. Siege workshop here. I have to say, I'm not sure why... Yeah, YoSoyPacho is going to drop the castle here. I'm not a fan of that castle. I don't think you really need one in that position. You could just stonewall like this, and you'd be fine. You can just use the forest to your advantage. But yeah, anyway, I was about to say, I'm not a fan of Sabalero pressuring from this side. I know I said earlier that YoSoyPacho could easily drop a castle here if the pressure comes from here. But Sabalero did not know about his opponent being on stone and not making farms over here, so I think it would have made more sense to pressure from this side, especially when you know where the archer ranges are going to be. I mean, now this is going to be paying out, right? Because he forced an awkward castle from his opponent. But look at this. YoSoyPacho just dropping as many farms as he can in his base. "45 crossbows. Did he get Thumbring? He didn't. But yeah, he's just going to be defending with crossbows and knights. He's 40 vills ahead. That's an insane eco lead, especially on Persians. Well, I think Sabalero is not focusing on the pawn, because the only way he would have to deal with this would be to drop his own docks, right? Because right now he's making melee units, so he cannot even go around with archers to snipe those ships. And so first of all, I don't think YoSoyPacho is going to be letting him redock, and if he has to have his attention over there, then he's not taking a look at this. I think the Rams would just get killed by the fires. No? Defensive mangonels from YoSoyPacho. That's a lot of Rams. Okay, so Malay have access to Redemption. Yeah, but it's not in. But here he's going to be getting a lot of conversions. Oh, YoSoyPacho was actually going outside from this side with the monks. So the moment the knights come in, the monks are actually going to be protected by the wood line. But yeah, YoSoyPacho is going to be cleaning this. Sabalero knows he's too far behind. I mean, it's almost double the score. And Sabalero calls the GG. So YoSoyPacho closes the set with 1 victory. So it's a tie for these players. That was a nice set. Sabalero's pressure in game 1 was amazing. Here I think he tried... Yeah, 4 stables, 2 TCs. I think he tried to do too much at the same time. Actually 5 stables. Maybe if he stayed on 1 TC, he can keep up build production and not have to idle his TCs to produce. I don't know, to be fair, the moment you lose water on this map, it's kind of hard to come back. But yeah, nice defense from YoSoyPacho. Nice play on water. And yeah, that brings him the victory. Okay, so... Yeah, look at that. Almost double the res collected. That's insane. Double the vills. Yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, Sabalero could not break in, and I think part of the issue there was the angle he chose to try and break in, right? Because there were too many forests in the way. If he just stayed in this area where it's more open, I think it would have been better. I know there were hills down there to help him with the damage. I don't know. I would have preferred the area where I would have preferred the area here with the archer ranges. Anyway, let's go back to the draft. So we're done with this set. So second set of the day, we have Chanchilaru, and he's going to be playing against Harooooo. So again, let's introduce the players. So Chanchilaru, he is a player from Chile. He's been with the league for quite a while now. He might have been with us since season 1, but I do not want to be, but I'm not too sure about that. He is currently sitting at 2k elo, but he has a highest of 2k1. So of all the players we have in the league, he's probably one of the highest. And then his opponent is going to be Harooooo, who is a player from Bosnia, who is quite high himself. He is slightly lower elo than Chanchilaru, but just like Chanchilaru, he's been playing in the league. I think I'm 90% sure he's been playing with us since season 1. So yeah, both players quite high elo. They have experience in the league. This is going to be a fun set. And as Tech is mentioning in chat, Harooooo, he streams his POV when he plays his sets. And then if you cannot catch him live on Twitch, you can watch the Rex on his YouTube channel. If you go to the league site where the live scoreboard is, you can get the link to his channel where he just puts the Rex. So if you get the chance, check him out. It's nice to have players who upload their POVs, because Tech and I try to cast as many games as we can, but we cannot always do that. So having more material is nice for the league. Okay, so back to the draft. Game 1 is going to be on Paradise Island, because this was played in round 5 as well. But for game 2, we're going to have Team Glaciers. And I have to say, Team Glaciers has been quite popular this season. So, as for civs, we have the usual 5 bands: Ethiopians, Franks, Tatars, Georgians, and Armenians. Chanchilaru went on to ban Byzantines and Dravidians, and was left with Japanese, Lithuanians, and Aztecs. He sniped the Koreans from Harooooo. Now Harooooo, he banned Mongols and Persians, and was left with Hindustanis, Italians, and Magyars. Went on to ban Malay. Okay. So one pick here is interesting to me, and that would be Aztecs. Right, because I don't really associate Aztecs with these two maps, but that's because nowadays Aztecs are more seen as a kind of a cheesy monk civ, when in reality they have an amazing production bonus. So if you want to go ultra aggressive with land units, they can be insane if used correctly. I hope we see that from Chanchilaru. I'm so sad that nowadays Aztecs are not played as much in tournaments. But yeah, I hope that happens. Also, we have Lithuanians, which I believe is going to be for Paradise Island. Ooh, unless he wants to go Aztecs on Paradise Island. Actually. Ooh. Yeah, we just saw Ultra Aggression win on Paradise Island from Sabalero. And as I just finished saying, Aztecs can be very aggressive thanks to that production bonus. If from there you can get to castle and get those relics, there are 7 relics in the middle. And Aztecs have extra gold income from the relics. So that would be pretty nice, especially if you want to go into an eagle spam. And especially on Paradise Island, because you have only 2 piles of gold per player. So gold tends to run out quite quickly. With the Aztec bonus, ooh, that would be interesting. I hope we see that. Yeah, I hope we see that. Now, let's just load up the game and jump into it. Wait a second. CA is being a little bit dumb. Should be working now. It's working on Streamlabs. Let's see if it's working on stream. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's not going to be Aztecs. I'm sad. So yeah, it's going to be Japanese. It's going to be Japanese, but it's going to be Magyars for Harooooo. And Harooooo, he had Italians available to him. So I'm surprised to see Magyars here. But again, Magyars with that free attack upgrade. If you open scouts here and you just go ultra aggressive, you might be able to find some good damage. I like this lumber camp from Chanchilaru, especially against Magyars, because there's a good chance that Magyars will be opening scouts. With lumber camp here, you just wall like this and this. Eventually you drop a second lumber camp over there. You're going to have some pretty nice safe wood. Okay, so Harooooo, he went forward with the scout. I don't think he got any sheep. And he didn't try to lame, so he's going to be late at pushing the deer. And hold on. We have the charge attack crocodile. And this villain has no loom. Okay, the scout was helping. Never mind then. But yeah, now crocodiles, as you can see, they have a charge attack. They inflict 3+5. So they can be pretty scary if you go out unprepared. So I have to say, of all the changes they added to the animals, I'm still not 100% sold on animals having different effects. Because I think it might be getting too confusing for players, especially new ones. But I'd say one thing: the charge attack of the crocodile. I do not know if they were thinking about that when making it, but it reminds me of the Gator roll, and I don't know. I just like that. I like that they added something to the crocodiles. Oh yeah, Tech, I think having the changes to the animals in general is nice, especially coming from, you know, this custom map league, because it gives more variety and more possibilities to the game. It's just, for ranked, I do not know if I like that. For maps and for tournaments, I guess I like that. For ranked, I'm not too sure. But I'd say this. I'd rather see changes to the animals, which add some variety to the game, than seeing quote-unquote variety in the form of, oh yeah, this unit gives fire to the ground and anyone who's walking on it gets damaged, or oh yeah, this unit has a bomb with 2 explosions, or stuff like that, or oh yeah, this unit has bleeding damage. Yeah, I'd much rather see the changes to the animals. By the way, bleeding damage, it would be fine if it was made in a different way. I just do not like the way they made it. But anyway, enough complaining. So, we have Chanchilaru going up to the Feudal Age. Harooooo, he's going to get Loom now, but he's going to be quite late. So both players with... Oh, actually Harooooo has 4 fishing ships. Chanchilaru only 2. He's not on gold yet, which tells me that he does not want to fight water, and instead he wants to go straight into scouts. Let's see if we see a stable from him. Oh, actually making a galley. That's nice. Galleys are better at sniping. Oh wait, Harooooo is the Magyars. Okay, yeah. Archer range from the Japanese makes sense. Yeah. So galleys are better than fires at sniping the fishing ships. So I like that opening, especially when you know you're up faster, when you see you're up faster than your opponent. Okay, galley is going to be coming out. And it should get here by the time Harooooo... Okay, not by the time he hits Feudal, but it should be there in time to maybe kill a single fishing ship before a single fire comes out from Harooooo. Because Harooooo, I don't think he's going to be making a fire straight away. He's making a market. Wait a second. Is this a fast castle from Harooooo? Fast castle into... Wait a second. So, Tech was talking about how it would be nice to have a castle in the middle island with a monastery and get all of the relics, because this is standard victory. Is Harooooo going to try and do that? He's up to castle. He's on stone. He's going to be able to fend off these units because it's mostly trash and a scout. Well, he did lose a veil there. Now I'm curious. I mean, unless this is a fast castle into Magyar Hussar play. This was played on the new patch, so that Hussar is going to be slightly stronger than it used to be. I think the cost remains unchanged, but they did improve the stats. And actually, Harooooo... So, sometimes the generation on the middle island can be awkward if you want to drop buildings there, because there tends to be mountains, which take up a lot of space. But on this generation, he got a single market. So a castle here and a monastery behind is very doable. Okay, he's off stone. Let's see if he brings the transport here. Okay. Oh no, it's going to be a castle here. Wait, is this then a play into unique unit? Straight into unique unit? Okay, I mentioned the change they had to the Magyar Hussar in the most recent patch. But before that, there was another change. So basically, they increased the base gold cost of the Magyar Hussar, and they decreased the base food cost. Because Magyar Hussar, it used to be, I think it was 80 food and 10 gold. I think it's now 30 food and 50 gold, something like that. And the unique tax still takes away the gold cost and basically transforms it into food cost. Which, thinking about it, it was a nice change in certain ways, because now at the start the unit is more accessible because well, gold is easier to get into than food at early stages of the game. And then if you go as you go into the late game, you can just go and get the unique deck, so you're going to have a food eco, and you can stop worrying about the gold. So yeah, this is going to be a Magyar Hussar rush. I've never seen this. And look at that. I think... Oh yeah, I think Harooooo is onto something. I mean, this is a unit with basically the same stats as a knight. Right, it has 20 less HP and 2 less armor, but the attack is the same as a knight. And as Magyars, you get that +2 for free. And look at this, yeah, I mean, it's mostly gold in its cost. Actually, hold on. Let me tab out a second into the game, because you cannot see the cost from here. Ah, yeah, the game might pause for a second. Yeah, so it's 35 food and 45 gold for this unit. So if you're low, it's basically like an eagle, cost-wise, but with better stats. I mean, look at that. There's actually in everything. This is amazing. I've never seen this, but now I want to try doing it as well. Because Magyar Hussars used to see them mostly in late game, if you ever saw them at all. But now? I mean, sure, he's behind in eco because he's not making water and he's kind of idling his TC. But now he's item bills. He killed so many. His opponent's eco is basically fish now, which eventually is going to be inefficient. He's off gold. Chanchilaru is never going to be up to castle. And now Harooooo is going to be building a monastery in the middle. He needs to be careful about the jaguars. He's Magyar, so though he doesn't care. Hold on, Harooooo. Yeah, I was joking at the start of the tournament about how you could go Magyars on this map to take care of the crocodiles. But I was saying that as a joke because, well, Magyars, they're not really a water save, right? But if you're pulling something like this, I mean, I don't want to say this is the best League game I've seen until now, but it certainly has been the most entertaining. Well, not most entertaining, the most surprising one. Because I would never expect this. And if someone told me, oh, I'm going to FC Magyar Hussar, I would be laughing in their face, especially on a water map. Because that sounds like a dumb idea, right? But Harooooo is making it work. And I'm the dumb one for saying that, honestly. Yeah, Forward Siege Workshop. Actually, I'm also thinking about the way you could be using this kind of, you know, this kind of build on let's say Arabia, right? On the ladder, because nowadays on Arabia you sometimes see people go FC into unique unit or FC into siege, and that unique unit sometimes it is siege. So with Magyars, you could go fast castle unique unit yourself. The Magyar Hussar actually has bonus damage against siege. So if you're facing, let's say, the new build with Shu, where you go fast castle into the war chariot, these guys will destroy it. And let's say you pick Magyars on the ladder on Arabia, and you actually find out that the other person is not going to be playing a, like a quote-unquote phosphorus civ, like Bohemians or Bengalis or Burmese, but you see a standard civ like, I don't know, Mayans? I mean, you're still Magyars, so you're still going to be happy on... Ooh, Harooooo misses that hole. You're still going to be happy to play standard on Arabia with Magyars. Yep, there's the Mangonel. Mangonel will take down these fields. There might eventually be a ram to take down the range and eventually the TC. Yeah, I agree. He sees things that others would not see. Because I mentioned the Magyar thing for the hunt. He didn't stop there. Not the hunt, the wild animals, and he probably got to this build with a similar conclusion, right? He went, oh, what if I picked Magyars? And he went, hold on, what if I pick Magyars and I go FC? Because that would work. Look at this. Yeah, Chanchilaru costs the GG. And Harooooo takes the first game. That was insane. And honestly, Harooooo being the one with the slightly lower elo, I love the fact that he tried this. I don't know how much he practiced it, but yeah, this was amazing. He also went for the relics. Cannot even speak because of how excited I am. He also went for the relics, so the countdown started. Oh yeah, this was a masterclass. Yeah, I'm going to save this. I'm going to make a CA capture age recording save because this is amazing. I want to keep this game in my folder. Okay, so yeah, let's look at statistics. Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't want to mention it, but yeah. You told me, oh, he's uploaded his POV, so maybe let's cut something else. But yeah, I'm glad I stuck to this set. It was amazing. I hope Game 2 delivers in a similar way, but yeah, this was great. Now imagine, so Chanchilaru has access to the Aztecs. Imagine if the next game Chanchilaru does something like FC into Jaguar Warriors and destroys Harooooo with those. I would love to see that. I mean, look at this. Harooooo went for a fast castle build. I don't know how all in he was. I mean, it's 10 farms. That's not an eco, right? I mean, it's a slight eco. And still, he was ahead in Rice Collected, despite Chanchilaru being Japanese and going for the fish. This is great. Okay, so let's load up game 2 and see if Harooooo is planning something else for game 2 as well. Okay, so we have Team Glaciers. And no, it's not. Okay, it's not Aztecs for Chanchilaru. It is going to be Lithuanians. Actually, he had Italians available, right? Yeah, he had Italians available, but... Oh no, actually Harooooo had Italians available, okay. Oh, and Harooooo goes for Hindustanis instead of Italians. Okay. Okay, so... I will say this map... You can easily... Well, not easily. You can pull off a fast castle on this map, right? Because of the amount of boars that you have. So, after that first game... Are we going to be seeing FC into Golems from Harooooo? I mean, I hope we do, but I'm not too sure. Okay, crossings. I think it is the first time I see... Yeah, I think it's the first time I see a generation with 4 crossings. I mean, these two are quite close to each other, but generally speaking, it's 3. And they're also quite far apart from each other. Okay, so by the way, for anyone who's going to be watching this later on, who might be confused about the map, because the base version of this map is now in the map pool for ranked. Or rather, it is going to be in the map pool for ranked. This is a custom version that was made for the league. Now, let me check real quick, because I forget who actually worked on this. Team Glaciers. Okay, it was Welcome to Rapture who worked on this one. So, on the standard version, you cannot cross. Right, there's no crossings. So, if you want to get to your opponent's base, you actually have to build a dock, make a transport, and go over there. Personally, I like this change to be able to, you know, combine land and water. Makes the map a little bit more, well, not a little bit, it makes the map way more aggressive. So, yeah, I think we have a better version. So, take that, Microsoft. Oh, this is the summer version. That's why there's 4 crossings instead of 3. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so far, actually, it's 5 on wood for Harooooo. Okay, that's not standard, unless he wants to go for some docks. But there would be no point, because there's no fish in this water. But as you can see, I mean, Chanchilaru, he's going for 3. You generally see 2 nowadays, but I guess it's 3 because he wants to wall as well. Oh, that's sad. That wall is going to be walling out the boar, which he does not see. So, yeah, maybe that's why. Did he get all of them? Because he's missing that one. And that one, because he doesn't see it. Yeah. So he's only going to get 2 boars. Harooooo, he still hasn't gotten that one. I mean, he's not done. Does he not see that? Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, he's going to be seeing it when it moves. So eventually he might be going out to get that boar. Oh yeah, this is unwallable. I mean, the only way to wall these crossings would be... Oh, you could block that with a dock over here. But then you would have to make a dock here and just go palisade another dock That would be the only way to wall on this version. Okay, Harooooo going for 2 militias. And I forget who it was. We saw someone go... So in Sprint 1 there was someone playing against Oladushek. He went... Drash into Fast Castle. With our minions. I forget who it was though. I don't think it was Chanchilaru. And this does not look like a fast Drash into Fast Castle build from the Hindustanis. It's actually going to be Men at Arms, okay. Yeah, I mean, he knows about this, right? About these vills. There's 8 of them, so they might be able to fight off the Men at Arms. But with the help of the scout, he might be able to get at least... He might be able to get a kill. No? He takes the hill. Let's see if he... Ooh, yeah. That vill might go down. Okay, 1 down. Might get a second. Oh, he also denied the boar coming in. Second vill kill, okay. I would say the men-at-arms have paid for themselves, right? Kills 2 vills, denies the boar, takes people off food. Granted, that said, it is Lithuanians, so they started with extra resources. And Chanchilaru has almost the food to go up to castle. And it is a fast castle from Chanchilaru, okay. It is going to be archery range and blacksmith now from Harooooo, who is actually now going to be taking that boar. I mean, he's taking that one instead of this one. Going to be... Okay. Okay, just puts down the wall to de-aggro the boar. Good old trick. He should be able to get through here. Chanchilaru will eventually go up to castle. Oh yeah, there was the other boar over there. Yeah, Chanchilaru now only needs to be walling behind this. And he should be able to go up to castle. Now... Ooh. Yeah, so... At the start I mentioned how you could go fast castle on this map because of the amount of boars. And that is true. The only issue on this map is that your gold and your stones, they're quite far away from your TC, right? So look at this. For Chanchilaru, they're on the other side of the wood line. Whereas on a standard generation on some other maps, you would have them, let's say, in between these two, right? So you could actually wall them like this, or you would have it here. Or maybe to the side of this wood line. On Team Glaciers, they're far away. I mean, Harooooo's gold is not as far away as Chanchilaru is. Oh, actually, yeah, it's slightly closer, but see how forward it is. And look at the stones. So going fast castle on this one can be very risky depending on the resources location. And Chanchilaru, he's going to get to castle, sure, but his gold is over there. He's got no gold in the back. He's going to get the stone. Okay. And now he's making archer range. Is this going to be CA? Yeah, I think it's too late to go into crossbows, right? Because you wouldn't have the resources to get the crossbow upgrade. So I think you have to go straight into CA. And if Harooooo... Okay, Harooooo does not know about this stone. But to be fair, he knows about this gold. He sees the castle each time. He knows there's no gold over here, so once he's done exploring this... Yeah, he's already going over here because he's thinking, where are you taking resources? And Harooooo is up as well. Ooh, okay, he sees the stone but does not see the vills. Oh, so he might be thinking that Chanchilaru got lucky and got a gold in the back, and that's why he opted for the castle age. Sorry, for a fast castle. Okay, Chanchilaru not going for this. It is going to go up, and that will secure him the gold. But he's going to be on a timer. And Harooooo, now that he sees this, he could say, okay, I'm at the castle, I'm going to forward siege you. Good luck. Do not have fun. Yeah, and Harooooo behind this, quite the nice eco. Of course, being in Nustanis, it helps. Because the villagers cost less. He still has the men-at-arms alive, actually. Yeah, this has been an amazing play. An amazing game. Actually, an amazing set for Harooooo, to be fair. And Lithuania's, okay, sure, they're on stone. And they have secure gold at the moment. So eventually they could try and drop a castle. Maybe even here to secure that gold, or here to secure this one. Here no, and here no, because you would need map control, which you do not have at the moment. So maybe here. Or here. But then, if the Hindustani player sees your castle and realizes you're going for, well, light is, they're Hindustanis, right? So they can just drop a couple of stables, make camels, and mess you up. Okay, Harooooo trying to lame the deers. Of course, and yeah, Chanchilaru with the hold habits. Now, if you kill deer now with the spearman, it does not decay. I mean, it does not rot. It does decay, but you still get the food. Chanchilaru shot the deer with the villager to make sure it wouldn't spoil, but yeah, it doesn't anymore. Is that spearman going to be losing? Yeah, it should lose against the Vil. Yeah. Harooooo kind of low on wood, but I mean, this TC will take care of that. I'm guessing these villagers will go to wood. Single camel. Ooh, he broke him with the crossbows. Takes his opponent off stone. Chanchilaru got just enough stone for a castle, but there's a camel, there's scouts here. The castle, it might go up. Actually, it will go up. Crossbows, yeah, they will not be there in time. Okay, that could have gone worse. Just one bill down for Chanchilaru. Crossbows, they will try to run through here, but there's a TC. TC was hitting the scouts instead. Harooooo diving with the crossbows will lose quite a bit. Actually lost most of his crossbows. That was a little bit too ballsy, I think, for Harooooo. And now, I mean, Chanchilaru could just go out here for the wood. And throughout all of this, Chanchilaru has held quite nicely. He's not that far behind when it comes to build numbers. Especially considering he went fast castle and his opponent is almost on the 30C and he's into Stanis and he did some damage. And Chanchilaru has 5 minutes of LTC time. No wheelbarrow for Harooooo. Yeah, that's a weird amount of vills. Yeah, I mean, with almost 6 minutes of idle TC time, I would have expected more difference. Especially when Harooooo has killed 7 vills. Huh. I guess Chanchilaru had the second TC as soon as he got to castle, basically, so yeah. Yeah, that will do it. Chanchilaru, yeah, going for another TC here. Does he know about the stone in the north? He does know about that. Does he know about the other golds? Wait, there's no gold here. Oh, there it is. Ooh, that's unlucky. He does not know about that gold. He will see the monk coming forward, probably to get some relics. Yeah, I think Harooooo sees that relic. Well, now he will be seeing this one as well, but I think he sent the monk for that one. Smart play, by the way, to go this early into the relics. Okay, the monk is going to get walled in. I mean, for 2 reasons. First one, well, you're against Lithuanians, right? And second one, this is standard victory, so if you trigger the relic timer, you could win thanks to that. Yeah, man goes down from the TC. This one converts a Vill, just to be annoying. We have the 4th TC from Harooooo. And these crossbows are still in the back, being a nuisance. Still a single man-at-arm from Feudal Age available for Harooooo. I mean, that's not going to be doing anything, but it's nice that he kept the guy alive, and he's going to wall in this fill. I think if you're Chanchilaru, you want to keep an eye on this one. I think it's fine idling a single lightist just to have an idea of what that vill is doing. Yeah, we have a monastery. Yeah, this vill is going to be a pest in the back of Chanchilaru's base. Chanchilaru with 4 TC. And Harooooo now is going into... He's going to go into Navy. And this is similar to the way he played this map against me. He was very quick at switching to Navy. I forget what civ he was playing against me. Might have been in Hindustanis, actually. I forget. But yeah, he gets that timing correctly. Because now, yeah, he's going to be thinking about Imperial Age. Because he's got a nice eco. And the moment he gets to Imperial, he can just focus on Navy to take control of the map. Especially now that he sees his opponent is making basically no units, right? I mean, he sees some lighters, but you can easily take care of those with the camels. This monastery went up. I'm not sure where the Vill went. Okay, no, these are the light calves. Ooh, camels got in. Chanchilaru was too late at walling this. Actually, I think you can still go around that. I mean, even if you couldn't, there's fire galleys, soon to be fire ships coming forward. Those are going to be quite nice to take care of the palisades. Harooooo, almost enough stone for a castle himself. I would like to see it either here or here to secure those resources. Yeah, there we go. I think we're going to be seeing Imperial Age any moment now, because he does have a monastery and a university. Yeah, there it is. Light cap finally goes down, so they'll stop being an annoyance in the back. But Chanchilaru, he's... Yeah, they just went around. But Chanchilaru, he's quite far away from Imperial. And this castle might be able to get trapped down from here. I forget if Hindustanis get... Yeah, they do get siege engineers. So maybe without siege engineers you would have to go here to trap that one down, but I think you can do it from here if you have siege engineers. Couple a demo just to be sure to explode a unit that tries to come through. Tries to come forward, sorry. Yeah, Chanchilaru just walling around this monastery. He does not want to be dealing with monks in the back of his base. Going to Navy himself, but he has yet to click up to Imperial. Grand Trunk Road for the Hindustanis. That's nice because that affects the every form of gold income, making it faster. Yeah, 10% faster, and that includes relics. So these 5 relics are going to be generating 10% more gold. Yeah, Chanchilaru's eco is not that far behind, but yeah, as I mentioned, no map control and no imp. I mean, I think there's going to be cannon galleons before Chanchilaru on the field, before, well, on the water, not on the field, before Chanchilaru clicks imp. Well, actually, no, okay, no. But I doubt he'll be able to keep up to get this castle up. And the issue is, as Lithuanians, what do you switch into from here, right? Because your opponent is already on camels, as Hindustanis, so you don't really want to stay on lighties. You do have amazing trash, but you would need halberdiers to take care of the camels. If you go into halberdiers, then Hindustanis can just go into Shetagni hand cannons. If you go into halberdiers and skirmishers, then the Hindustanis could go into gulams. It's quite tough from here. Hindustanis have such a nice late game. Probably the best hand cannons in the game. Arguably the best camos in the game as well. They just have everything in late game. Yeah, castle is going to go down. Siege engineers came in, so that's going to affect both the range and the attack damage, I believe, of ships. Of the cannon galleons, sorry. Cannon galleons will not get converted. That took a long time. Did he have... Yeah, he has devotion. That makes sense. And Chanchilaru, he's got a nice eco now behind this. He just has no map control and no military units. And yeah, he's going to try and go into pikes. But the moment Harooooo sees that... I mean, he already has chemistry. I don't think he got Shetagni. No, he didn't. But he can just drop a couple of ranges here and go into that. He could even get Shetagni now with the resources he has. But Chanchilaru, that's the only gold he has left available. Because this one is going to get ranged by the galleons. This one is going to get taken by Harooooo. And it's going to be within range of the navy anyway. Very aggressive castle from Harooooo. Who can afford this, right? Because his opponent lost that castle. He's going to be building this one now, but it's going to take time before traps can come out. And traps cannot roll this way around, because otherwise cannon guns will take them. They will have to go all this way around, delete that wall, and then trap down the castle from there. Tough position. Very tough position for Chanchilaru. Wait, did Harooooo get that relic? Relic heist? He did! And he took it over there, okay. Another very aggressive castle, yeah. Yeah, and Harooooo is getting lead Kuram. He knows his opponent cannot field lighties at the moment. Pikes is all he has left, so yeah, Gulams will take care of that. And they're going to be an amazing raiding unit as well, better than the Camels actually. Yeah, they're going to have 8 pierce armor. Downsenders with no botkin, nor fletching, yeah. And Chanchilaru calls the GG, and Harooooo takes this 2-0. With a, I would say, very strong performance. I mean, game 1 was just amazing, right? The way he played it. I might actually think about stealing that strat, to be honest. But I'll see. And game 2, game 2, I think Chanchilaru tried to be too greedy with those forward golds. I think, yeah, I mean, I guess he wanted to go fast castle to begin with, but I think the moment you see those golds, you change your game plan, right? You cannot try to go fast castle with those golds. But yeah, very strong performance. I don't think Chanchilaru played badly, right? I think Harooooo was just that strong in this set. I mean, I know I just criticized Chanchilaru's choice here, but he held well. For a moment there, he had actually a better econ than Harooooo. And game 1, Chanchilaru played that well. He had a lot of army on the field. He just did not expect the crazy play from Harooooo and got punished by that. But he played well. Yeah, Chanchilaru was surprised a lot, I think. Okay, so let's look at statistics. Yeah, that economy was insane by Harooooo in the end. Okay. I think that's going to be it for today. It's not that late, and I mean, the first set was kind of quick. But yeah, I'd rather go to bed at a reasonable time because I didn't get that much sleep last night. So I'm going to read someone, but for the meantime, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.